What if the strange events swirling around your life right now are not chaos, but a countdown? What if the delays, the sudden endings, the patterns you cannot explain, are not punishment, but the final sign before a leap? You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. Dr. Joe Dispenza. A quantum jump is not a metaphor. It is the split second where one reality collapses and another begins. Most people miss it, blinded by fear, confusion, or disbelief. But those who recognize the signals, those who know how to read the universe's hidden language, become travelers across parallel realities. In this video, I will reveal the final signs that appear before such a jump, the disguise tests, the explosive synchronicities, and the hidden doors that only open once. But there is one sign above them all, the one signal that proves your new reality is closer than you think. Stay until the end, because missing this could mean missing your chance to step into the life waiting just beyond the veil. A quantum jump is not just a phrase borrowed from physics, it is the secret heartbeat of transformation. Imagine a particle vanishing in one place and appearing instantly in another, skipping all the steps in between. That is what happens when consciousness leaps. The old version of you dissolves, and a new timeline emerges, fully formed, as if conjured out of the invisible. In spirituality, this has always been known. Shamans spoke of walking between worlds. Mystics whispered of veils that part when the soul is ready. Today, quantum physics provides the metaphor. Energy exists in possibilities until observation collapses it into form. You are the observer. Your awareness is the trigger. A quantum jump is not about becoming someone else. It is about aligning so completely with a higher version of yourself that reality has no choice but to rearrange. The life you step into already exists. It has been waiting in the field of infinite potentials. But here is the paradox. These jumps never arrive dressed as miracles. They arrive disguised as disruption, discomfort, and strange signals that seem meaningless at first. Recognizing them is the difference between repeating the same life or entering a parallel one. Every quantum jump follows a strange rhythm, one that has been described for centuries but rarely recognized while it is happening. Before the leap, there is always a rupture. Life feels as if it is pushing you into corners you never asked for. Relationships unravel, opportunities vanish, delays stretch longer than reason allows. It feels like the universe is closing in, stripping you of certainty. This is the pattern: endings without warning, cycles that refuse to move forward, and an almost unbearable sense of limbo. Your outer world slows or even collapses, while inside, a quiet restlessness builds. This is not random. It is the dismantling of the old timeline, one that can no longer contain who you are becoming. Science reflects this in its own way. In physics, systems often reach a point of instability before reorganizing into a higher order. Chaos precedes coherence. Just like a quantum particle flickering between states, your life wavers between collapse and emergence until one version crystallizes. The discomfort you feel is the echo of two realities overlapping. Most people mistake this pattern for punishment. They fight the endings, resist the delays, mourn what is slipping away. But if you can see through the disguise, you'll realize the friction is proof that you are at the threshold. The breakdown is not blocking your jump. It is the very engine preparing to launch you into it. As the jump draws closer, the universe sharpens its blade. Obstacles appear out of nowhere. Plans collapse in the final hour. People betray your trust. Unexpected losses cut deep. It feels unfair, almost cruel, as if life itself is conspiring against you. Yet this is no accident. These are not punishments. They are the last examinations before the threshold. Think of initiation rites in ancient temples. Before receiving hidden knowledge, initiates were thrust into darkness, forced to confront fear, silence, and the unknown. The purpose was not to break them, but to prove their readiness. In the same way, the final tests before a quantum jump, are designed to strip away hesitation, weakness, and attachment to the old self. Here lies the paradox. The challenge itself is the portal. What looks like a wall is often a disguised doorway. That painful confrontation, that sudden delay, that seeming dead end, it is the universe asking one final question. Are you truly ready to leave the old world behind? Most turn back here. They cling to comfort, misinterpret the trial as a sign they should stop. But if you see through the disguise, if you dare to step into the discomfort instead of retreating, you will find that the wall was never a wall at all. It was the door waiting to be opened. When the final test is underway, the universe begins to whisper louder. Synchronicities erupt with a frequency that feels impossible to ignore. Numbers repeat themselves in absurd patterns, 1111 on every clock, the same sequence following you from receipts to license plates. People you haven't spoken to in years suddenly reappear, carrying messages you didn't know you needed. Paths cross in ways so unlikely, they feel scripted. These are not coincidences. They are markers, alignments between your personal frequency and the deeper architecture of reality. In quantum physics, entanglement shows us that two particles can remain mysteriously linked across any distance, responding as if connected by an invisible thread. Synchronicities are the human echo of this phenomenon. They reveal that your consciousness has become entangled with a future timeline, that your inner vibration is no longer matching your old life, but resonating with the one about to unfold. Each impossible alignment is a rehearsal of the new reality pulling you closer. The more disruptive the old timeline becomes, the more insistent these synchronicities grow. They cluster around you like flashing beacons, exaggerating their presence until even the most skeptical mind cannot deny them. It feels as though reality itself is conspiring, arranging puzzle pieces into your path with mocking precision. But this mockery is sacred. It is a treasure hunt designed by the cosmos. And the treasure is not an object or event outside of you. The treasure is recognition, the realization that the leap is not only possible, it is already in motion. Do not dismiss them. Most people laugh them off as superstition. But synchronicities are the golden threads woven through the chaos, guiding you to the doorway. When they appear in rapid fire, it is the universe saying, "Pay attention, the portal is opening." When synchronicities reach their peak, hidden doors begin to appear. They rarely look like golden gateways or dramatic revelations. Instead, they slip quietly into your path, a chance conversation, a sudden invitation, an opportunity that seems too small to matter. Most overlook them. But in truth, these subtle openings are the passageways to an entirely new reality. Ancient mystics often spoke of the narrow gate, not a grand temple entrance, but a modest threshold that only the attentive could pass through. Today, it is the same. The universe does not test your ability to spot the obvious. It tests whether you can perceive the extraordinary inside the ordinary. Science echoes this truth. Studies in neuroscience show that the brain filters billions of pieces of information every second, allowing you to notice only what matches your focus. A hidden door appears not because it was created in that moment, but because your consciousness finally became tuned to see it. What was invisible yesterday becomes luminous today. The danger is subtlety. Most people dismiss these doors as coincidences, inconveniences, or distractions. But those who pause, those who listen to the quiet knock, discover that behind the smallest opening lies the greatest transformation. The hidden door is not just an event, it is the universe's way of asking, "Are you ready to step into the unknown?" The ultimate sign that you are on the edge of a quantum jump is not written in the stars or coded in the numbers. It is written in your own being. Suddenly, the world you once called yours begins to feel alien. The job, the relationship, the habits, even the conversations that once anchored you, now feel strangely distant, as if they belong to someone else's story. This is not depression. It is not apathy. It is the unmistakable sign that your frequency has already shifted, even before your reality has caught up. Inside, you are vibrating with the resonance of a higher timeline. Outside, you are still surrounded by the structures of the old one. That friction, the sense of "I don't belong here anymore," is the final confirmation that a leap is imminent. Every mystic tradition describes this state. The alchemists called it the nigredo, the blackening of the old self before gold could be forged. Shamans described it as standing with one foot in each world. Today, neuroscience shows it too. As your identity changes, your brain literally rewires, weakening old pathways while new ones spark to life. You feel caught between two realities because, in truth, you are. And this is the hidden paradox. The discomfort itself is the proof. When the room you once fit into begins to feel too small, when the life you built feels like clothing that no longer fits your body, that is not failure. It is the doorway. This is the sign before the quantum jump, the one you came here to recognize. Ignore it, and you remain trapped in the shrinking skin of the old. Honor it, and you step into the timeline that has been waiting for you all along. The ultimate sign that you are on the edge of a quantum jump is not written in the stars or coded in the numbers. It is written in your own being. Suddenly, the world you once called yours begins to feel alien. The job, the relationship, the habits, even the conversations that once anchored you, now feel strangely distant, as if they belong to someone else's story. This is not depression. It is not apathy. It is the unmistakable sign that your frequency has already shifted, even before your reality has caught up. Inside, you are vibrating with the resonance of a higher timeline. Outside, you are still surrounded by the structures of the old one. That friction, the sense of "I don't belong here anymore," is the final confirmation that a leap is imminent. Every mystic tradition describes this state. The alchemists called it the nigredo, the blackening of the old self before gold could be forged. Shamans described it as standing with one foot in each world. Today, neuroscience shows it too. As your identity changes, your brain literally rewires, weakening old pathways while new ones spark to life. You feel caught between two realities because, in truth, you are. And this is the hidden paradox. The discomfort itself is the proof. When the room you once fit into begins to feel too small, when the life you built feels like clothing that no longer fits your body, that is not failure. It is the doorway. This is the sign before the quantum jump, the one you came here to recognize. Ignore it, and you remain trapped in the shrinking skin of the old. Honor it, and you step into the timeline that has been waiting for you all along. Every quantum jump narrows into a single instant, an unrepeatable moment where the old and the new stand side by side. The hidden tests, the synchronicities, the inner discomfort, they all funnel into this. A choice. Do you cling to the shrinking world that no longer fits you, or do you step through the unseen door into the unknown? Choice is the hinge of reality. In quantum mechanics, an electron exists in many states at once until it is observed. The act of observation collapses possibility into form. In your life, the act of choosing works the same way. The moment you commit to release, to move forward, to embody the new self, you collapse one timeline and activate another. And here is where an often forgotten law awakens: the law of inspired action. A quantum jump is not just belief, not just energy. It demands embodiment. The universe may unlock the door, but only your movement can carry you through it. The call you feel in your chest, the sudden urge that defies logic, the choice that seems irrational but refuses to leave your mind. That is inspiration. These impulses are not random. They are coordinates whispered by your higher self, guiding you toward the parallel reality already waiting for you. When you follow them, you do more than act. You fuse possibility into matter. This is why so many miss their leap. They wait for proof, for safety, for permission. But certainty does not precede a quantum jump. It follows it. Inspired action is the proof. It is the bridge that collapses the invisible into the visible, the spark that forces the wave of potential into a single form. Without it, the door remains a mirage. With it, the new timeline crystallizes around you. The leap is never handed to you. You forge it, step by trembling step. And the moment you do, reality has no choice but to rearrange. The greatest tragedy is not that people never receive the signs. It is that they ignore them. They explain away synchronicities as coincidence. They see challenges as punishment. They feel the inner discomfort but medicate it with distractions. The portal appears, but they walk past it, blind to what was right before them. To not miss your jump, you must cultivate awareness. Pay attention to the patterns that repeat, the whispers that tug at your intuition, the moments that feel strangely aligned. These are not noise, they are instructions. When you notice them, pause, breathe, ask, what is this pointing me toward? That pause alone can turn a missed sign into a doorway. Just as important, prepare your mind and heart for the discomfort of the threshold. When reality feels unstable, when you no longer recognize yourself, this is not failure, it is confirmation. The old skin must crack before the new can form. Those who resist this discomfort stay trapped. Those who embrace it are carried across. Finally, act. Inspired action is the hinge. Even the smallest step, taken in alignment with your inner knowing, has the power to collapse timelines. The leap is never a single miracle. It is the weaving of attention, recognition, and action into one decisive moment. Miss any part, and the jump fades back into potential. Live them fully, and you step into the reality that has been waiting for you all along. Every great transformation begins in silence. Not the silence of absence, but the silence before an explosion. The strange endings, the challenges disguised as trials, the impossible synchronicities weaving themselves into your days. They were never random. They were the scaffolding of a truth too large to ignore. You have already begun to outgrow your old world. That restless unease inside you, the sense that you are too big for the skin you are in, too infinite for the story you've been repeating, is not weakness. It is the final sign, the inner proof that the leap is not just near, it is here. You are already straddling two realities, and the discomfort is simply the friction of birth. The ancients knew this moment well. They called it the crossing of thresholds, the initiation of fire. The alchemists marked it as the blackening before gold. Physics calls it instability before reorganization. But in every language, the message is the same. The breakdown is the announcement of breakthrough. And now, the choice is yours. You can shrink back into the room that no longer fits, convincing yourself that comfort equals safety. Or you can listen to the pulse of your soul, honor the synchronicities guiding you, and take the step of inspired action that seals your new timeline. The door is already open. The only question is whether you will walk through. Don't ignore the final sign. Your quantum jump is waiting. If you felt the resonance in these words, let this be your first inspired action. Subscribe to Infinity Echoes and activate the notifications. Here, we uncover the hidden laws, the signs, and the mysteries that prepare you for the leaps no one else dares to speak of. The universe is not done speaking to you. This is only the beginning.